The janitor's mop moved slowly across the marble floor, the sound of water swishing echoing through the empty corporate tower. It was well past midnight, and Daniel Ruiz was the only one left in the 42-story building of Creston Enterprises, one of the most powerful companies in the city. The security lights flickered softly, casting long shadows down the hallway. Daniel wasn't supposed to be there that night. His shift usually ended at 10, but he'd volunteered to cover for a sick coworker. He needed the extra hours. His daughter, Lily, had a heart condition, and the bills were piling up. Every dollar counted. As he cleaned the corridor near the executive offices, a floor most janitors never set foot on, Daniel heard something faint. A sound that didn't belong. At first, he thought it was the hum of the air vents. But then he heard it again, a soft sob. He froze. It was coming from behind the large double doors of the CEO's private conference room. Daniel hesitated. He knew the rules, no one was allowed in that room after hours. But the sobs grew louder, trembling with fear. He gripped his mop tightly, heart pounding, and pushed the door open. The room was dark except for the moonlight spilling through the tall windows. And there, in the corner, curled up and trembling, was a little girl. "Hey, it's okay," Daniel said gently, stepping closer. "Are you hurt?" The girl looked up with tear-streaked cheeks. Her clothes were dusty, and she clutched a torn teddy bear. I can't find my daddy," she whispered. Daniel knelt down. "What's your name, sweetheart?" She sniffled. "Ella." That name hit him like a shockwave. Everyone in the building knew that name. Ella Creston. The missing daughter of William Creston, the billionaire CEO whose face was on every newspaper for the past 2 weeks. She had vanished without a trace, and police had searched everywhere. Daniel's breath caught. What was she doing here? He wrapped his jacket around her small shoulders. "You're safe now, Ella. I promise." But before he could call for help, the lights flickered again and a noise echoed from the hallway. Heavy footsteps. Daniel grabbed Ella's hand and ducked behind the table. The footsteps grew louder, deliberate. Someone else was in the building. Someone who didn't belong there. He peeked out just as a shadow passed the glass door, tall, broad, and carrying something metallic. Ella whimpered softly. Daniel whispered, "Shoo, stay quiet." Minutes felt like hours. The shadow lingered, then slowly moved on. When the coast was clear, Daniel exhaled shakily. He needed to get her out now. They took the service elevator down to the parking level. Daniel called the emergency hotline from his old phone, stammering through the story. Within minutes, sirens wailed outside the building. Police swarmed in, lights flashing. Daniel held Ella's hand the entire time, refusing to let go until she was safe. When the officers confirmed who she was, one of them looked at Daniel in disbelief. "You found her? You realize you just solved the city's biggest case?" Daniel only looked down at Ella, smiling faintly. "I just did what any father would do." Chapter 2: The CEO's Promise. The next morning, the building buzzed like never before. Reporters crowded outside. Employees whispered in shock. Word had spread, the janitor had found the CEO's missing daughter. William Creston arrived in a rush, his expensive suit wrinkled, eyes red from sleepless nights. The moment he saw Ella in the arms of an officer, he ran forward, dropping to his knees. "Ella," he cried, clutching her tight. She buried her face in his chest, sobbing, "Daddy." The room went silent. Even the police stood back. Then Ella pointed toward Daniel. "Daddy, he helped me. He saved me." William turned. Their eyes met, billionaire and janitor, two fathers bound by one moment. He walked toward Daniel, face unreadable. Everyone held their breath. Then, unexpectedly, the CEO reached out and hugged him. "Thank you," William said, voice breaking. "You brought my little girl home." Daniel blinked, stunned. "I just did what anyone—" "No," William interrupted softly. "You did what no one else could. Not the police, not the investigators. You found her because you cared. Over the next few days, the truth came out. Ella had been hiding in the building after escaping a failed kidnapping attempt. She'd panicked and found her way into the one place she thought was safe, her father's company. But fear kept her silent and lost until Daniel's voice reached her that night. William offered Daniel money, a lot of it. But Daniel shook his head. I don't want your money, sir. Just, maybe better health insurance for the janitorial staff. Some of us really need it. That quiet humility hit William harder than anything else. A week later, the entire building gathered for an announcement. The CEO stood before the employees, his daughter by his side. I learned something this week, William said to the crowd. That greatness doesn't come from your title or wealth. It comes from compassion, from people like Daniel Ruiz. He turned toward Daniel. From today onward, you're not just a janitor. You're the new head of facility operations for Creston Enterprises. And your daughter's medical care, it's fully covered. Gasps filled the hall. Daniel stood frozen, eyes wide. Sir, I don't know what to say. William smiled. You already said it when you asked for help for others instead of yourself. Ella ran up and hugged Daniel's leg. Thank you for finding me, Mr. Daniel. Tears welled in his eyes. You're welcome, kiddo. The building erupted in applause. That night, when Daniel went home, he tucked his daughter into bed, her heart monitor beeping softly beside her. As she fell asleep, he looked out the window at the same tower where his life had changed forever. Sometimes, heroes wear suits. But sometimes, they just carry a mop.